The story of the great hero Wusong is well known. I always thought that the inventor of Wusong's story was the white-beard storyteller. After quite a long time, I found out it was not him. The first to spread the story of Wusong was the talented man named Shi Naian. Shi Naian is a family member of Xinhua County, Yangzhou Prefecture. His tomb is still lying in Bridge Village, Dayun Township, Xinhua County. Saying this is not nonsense. My hometown is in Bridge Village, Dayun Township. On the threshing field in my hometown, I listened to the storyteller showing Wusong. At that time, Shinayan was resting in peace on the threshing field. His tomb was only a dozen steps away from the storytelling stage. In terms of space, the storytelling stage and the cemetery were close within reach, but the distance did not indicate anything. In fact, we didn't know who was buried in the cemetery. We only cared about the current world. Shi Naian was laying in the tomb. He could not hear the Yangzhou accent hundreds of years later. Shi Naian's tomb was very large and looks like a small hill. We often gathered on the top of the tomb to play the fighting game. Shi's grave became our Jingyang Ridge. Our game was very simple. To put it directly, it was the sumo arena. Two heroes stood on the top of the tomb, pushing the opponent down. If one lost, another one should go up. The final winner would be the Wusong that day. Relatively speaking, Bedbug had a bigger chance to win. Bedbug was full of strength. He became our permanent Wusong. Like his blacksmith father, he had smelly breath, smelly feet, and smelly thoughts, and his family was stinky all year round. But he was full of strength. He could only be Wusong. The rule was like this. This day was in the deep fall with very fresh air, and both seniors and youth in the village were very happy, really like a holiday. Wusong went to Jingyang Ridge last night. This night he would go to post the fight with the big animal. We were all very happy. The white-bearded old man's fighting the tiger was amazing. He could make Wusong and the big animal vivid only with his mouth. You must listen carefully. It was vivid, just like acting in your eyes. Live. That evening we went to Jingyang Ridge together. We did not expect that today's Wusong fights the tiger would be like this. Bedbug was standing on the top of the tomb when Snotty came over. Bedbug won again today, waving at us with both arms. Snotty is the son of Shi's Asan. Two yellow snots hang under his nostrils all year round. We never play with him. We would get dirty hands even we won. But Snotty came by himself today, and he let two pigs go. Snotty threw away the pig stick in his hand and went to the top of Shinayan's grave. Bedbug saw Snotty gaze. Snotty was staring at him. Bedbug was obviously lacking in composure about the emergency, and said loudly, "What are you doing here? Go down." Snotty said nothing and threw Bedbug off with a loud shout. Snotty stood on Shinayan's grave and blew his nose. Then, with arms akimbo, he made a Wusong look. We didn't want to see Snotty as Wusong. What part of him looked like him was not? We were silent together and paid serious attention to Bedbug. This kind of attention kept Bedbug no way out. He could only rush up. He rushed too hard to control and threw himself to the other side of the grave. Bedbug's head hit the tombstone. There were 9 words on the tombstone. The tomb of the great writer Shi Naian. Bedbug's forehead was bleeding. His blood also smelled. Bedbug stood up, holding his head. He would surely rush up again like a strong man. At least he would say, "You wait." Of course, Bedbug might say nothing and leave without a sound. That's even more powerful. Snotty would definitely regret while staying at home. However, Bedbug's behavior was nothing like a hero. Unexpectedly, he cried. With crying, he said, "Snotty, your mom sleeps with the captain." It was all smelly this evening. The fresh air in the deep fall became smelly.